Hello and welcome back to our last and final video in the series, video number 5 of the Ikoria Apexes, building them as sweaty and as viable and efficient as possible. Wrapping the series up with Brokkos de Malacca of Forever, and unfortunately, Brokkos is in sultai, and it's really unfortunate for you viewers because this means that Brokkos is going to be like there's no theme. So thematically, Brokkos is the worst apex, but power level, yeah, Brokkos is the highest powered apex in my opinion. Only because he does sultai bullshit. So if you came here expecting like a some Brokkos mutate deck, that wouldn't be it wouldn't be a viable cEDH version of this deck. So I'm gonna wrap up this deck really quickly so that I can squeeze in room for my final thoughts on all the apexes. So Brokkos Apex Forever. He's a Nightmare Beast Elemental in sultai, and we have Brokkos, and we have Brokkos, and we have Brokkos. Now sultai, so it just, like I said, pure unadulterated sultai nonsense. So we're gonna have a Thassa's Oracle, a demonic consultation, and a tainted pact, and might as well just squeeze in the witherbloom apprentice and chain of smog combo. So far, not too many mutate targets. Oh, I think I put this deck in a different order. So we're gonna move along to our tutors. We have our vampiric tutor, mystical tutor, Limdal's Vault, Imperial Seal, demonic tutor, a Praetor's Grasp, just so I can tutor up a creature from my opponent's deck to mutate it. And then our counter package, we have a Veil of Summer, Mana Drain, Flusterstorm, and Dispel, Swan Song, Miscast, Gitaxian Probe. I do this all the time. Mental Misstep, Force of Negation, Pact of Negation, and Force of Will. And then we have a sweet little special summon package. We have our Finale of Devastation. Of course, this is all just to get our witherbloom, witchbloom, or Thassa's Oracle, witherbloom apprentice or Thassa's Oracle as soon as possible, right? Assuming that I have the other piece in my hand. We have a Finale of Devastation, Neoform, and Eldritch Evolution. And then our draw package, very simple, very traditional, Brainstorm, and Gitaxian Probe, Ponder, Preordain, Frantic Search, Time Twister, and a Windfall. And of course, the obligatory Ad Naus and Peer into the Abyss, because you're in black with a low CMC costed deck, Areno. Our ritual package, Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual, Reign of Filth, and the Culling of the Weak. No space for a sacrifice because Brokkos, apex of Never Ever, is never ever on the field. I mean, I guess I could just cast him and start beating the fuck out of one opponent, if they're annoying, or maybe they're on ad nauseum themselves, and I have a slow start. Our destruction package, Nature's Claim, Assassin's Trophy, Abrupt Decay, matching 7 Kindred Arts, of course, Chain of Vapor, Winds of Rebuke, Cyclonic Rift. And then our recursion, we have our Noxious Revival, Reap. Reap is better than regrowth. Trust me. Just trust me on it. And Yawgmoth's Will. And then I have a bunch of teeny tiny mana dorks that could be of importance. They're more important to, sack to a neoform than to block for Oko. But there's a Oko, Thief of Crowns. And then our creature package. We have our Dark Confidant, Gilded Drake, Spell Seeker. I know a lot of people are watching this video like, where's the Brokkos stuff? You can add the Brokkos stuff. Just add like an infect creature from your shoebox or 3. Hermit, Malevolent Hermit, new card, but very important in any of these combo decks because he turns into Benevolent Geist, which non-creature spells when you control can't be countered. So when you cast him, what is it for 3? It should be GG's. Now, I could put. I know a lot of people are tinkering with like a hermit. What is it? The Hermit Druid, right? And Dread Return lines. It's not something new. They've existed for quite a while, but it's not anything I'm really interested in. I think Hermit Druid, he's like #1 target for spot removal, and you're already in black, so you have like tutors and things to do, and it's that particular combo is asking a lot of mana to just keep on the side, right? Yeah, just double checked. I mean, for that Hermit Druid combo, you need to hold aside 1 to unearth the Fate Stitcher, 3 to cast this dude from the graveyard, and then whatever you're doing, usually your Thassa's Oracle and Consult. So it's I don't know. I could proxy up those cards. I had those pieces a million years ago, all foil, even the Hermit Druid. But when Flash, I had them for Flash lines, for Flash Hulk lines. But then Thassa's Oracle got printed, and that changed the game. That really, really changed the game. It really, really streamlined a lot of combos. I think a lot of people forget about that. Eternal Witness, Elvish Mystic, Fyndhorn Elves, Land War Elves. Maybe eventually I'll upgrade the Elvish Mystic. Is it the Elvish Mystic or the Land War Elves? One of them has like really ugly old retro art from like 1972. Looking like Felix the Cat and shit. Birds of Paradise. Birds of Paradise want to upgrade. I'm terrified of doing that because I know there are like a lot of these 7th edition counterfeits that look really good. That's really scary because that's a card with a high price point. And then Arbor Elf and Deathrite Shaman, and then Amy, Elves of Deep Shadow. And since we have so many dorks, why not? Why not, right? Cockblock with a Collector Oof and a Null Rod. So we're going to move on to our artifacts. Very low count, as you can imagine. Mana Crypt, Soul Ring, Mox Diamond, Chrome Mox. And then for utility, oh no, not there yet. And a Lotus Petal. And then for utility, we have a Wishclaw Talisman. And then our enchantments, very low. Mystic Remora, Necropotence, Carpet of Flowers, and Sylvan Library. There's no Ristic Study. Not a fan of that card. It's a little too slow. A little too slow for such a godlike deck like a Brokkos. And then wrapping things up, we have our lands. We have our all 9 fetches, of course. Of course. What else would you have besides all 9 fetches? And then we have our 3 duels. And we have our 3 Chakarinos. And I think I have all 3. Yeah, I have all 3 basics. Maybe the forest could be a Gaia's Cradle. I'll test it out. Not a big deal. And then the other duels: Morphic Pool, Nurturing Peatland, Undergrowth Stadium, Waterlogged Grove, Rejuvenating Spring. And then the best of the rest. We have our Ancient Tomb, Gemstone Cavern, Mana Confluence, City of Brass, and a command tower, of course. And so there you have it. You have Brokkos, Brokkos, the Malaka for forever. The worst apex thematically, but probably the best apex color identity wise. So I'm going to pause the video very quickly, and we're just going to quickly discuss all 5 apexes, like final thoughts. So one by one, we'll just go over the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? So we have Luna, Apex of Wishes. Luna is, how can I describe it? It's kind of like, it's just a food chain deck, but we all know that there are more powerful food chain commanders out there, especially like things like the first sliver. Where Luna shines, I don't know. Maybe she's casual food chain commander. So maybe someone getting into the game and building food chain, that's their heart and soul. They could start, with whatever food chain deck they have, and maybe slowly build up to Luna because those are the pieces they have, and then eventually graduate to like a first sliver. Who do we got? We got Snapdax. Snapdax is just a Tymna, what is his name? Tymna, little red guy for 0 mana. It's a Mardu Turbo Nause deck, which even, I think by today's standards, like as of to date, I think Mardu Turbo Nause is, even that deck is a little outdated in terms of a power level. It's high. Rograth, Tymna Rograth, that's what I'm thinking of. But even that deck is a little outdated in terms of power level. I think some of the 4-color Turbo Nause decks just outshine a Mardu Turbo Nause. So, again, this is just a nerfed version of a Tymna Rograth deck. Why would anyone want to build it? Snapdax is really strong thematically. If you just want to build a commander to start beating the shit out of an opponent, you could put other, as I demonstrated in my other video featuring this one, there are like 1-drop lifelink flyers, a couple of black infect creatures, and that's a thing you could do. Hudis, Brokkos, the eater of many baklava. Brokkos, again, as I demonstrated, thematically, there's cool things you could do with it. It seems really slow on the even casually, right? Because you want to get maximum value with him in the graveyard. So I guess you just cast him for cheap. Just trample, and he'll die, and then you can start doing things from the graveyard. There's some graveyard strategies in this color, but ultimately, it's just a sultai deck. I'm pretty sure like there's probably a vanilla sultai commander that could be in his place, because that's what he does in a competitive scene. He's just a nerfed version of any sultai X deck, really. Actually, that's where he's weak, right? Some of these sultai, like even a Tassiger, which is outdated by today's standards, he's an infinite mana outlet, so that's something Brokkos doesn't have. So he's just a vanilla sultai commander. But thematically, I guess you could build him as an infect beater. That's not my playstyle. I don't know how those kind of decks win. Do they really win on turn 55 just fighting? I don't know. What do you got? We got a Nethroi, the apex of death. A Nethroi is another, just a nerfed version of Tymna, Tymna Crom, right? Is that a reanimator deck, or Tymna? Yeah, just an Abzan. Tymna, I don't remember the name. That stupid Naga, that stupid snake thing, right? It's green, black, right? Or just any Tymna green deck. It's just a reanimator deck, Razak Cat lines, and things like that. which is the case of a lot of these decks. They're just nerfed versions of already existing decks. Why would you run this? Maybe you have reanimator cards and you're in these colors, but eventually you graduate to better options. And then finally we have Vadrock, which is the only cedh viable out of the Apexes. I don't know how you would build a different version of him, but and in casual, this deck doesn't work because, like I mentioned before, Dockside is not a good card in casual. You're not going to get crazy Dockside value quickly, and so that's going to hurt you. But yeah, that's the Apexes. Hope you like the series. Like and subscribe. Thank you.